Welcome back, everyone, to the PeruvianPod. This is episode 5, I believe. I honestly can't remember at this point, but today, today we have myself and we have Carlos as well. We have Mr. Beeb as in the background as fact checker for today, but he'll join once in a while if he feels a need to talk about our topics for today. But Carlos, just to introduce the first topic we'll be talking about for today.
Hey man. Hey guys, thanks for listening. Yeah, today I actually want to talk about something that I saw yesterday morning. I was on YouTube and then I saw a video about Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle talking about like the changes, I guess the social changes that have come due to COVID. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is talking about, I guess, how we perceive society now, in
Mhm.
terms of like a social contract, right? Meaning like how our morals and values have changed, or at least how we perceive that other people's morals and values should be, I guess.
Gotcha, gotcha. And has your view or perspective on social contract changed at all during these COVID times? Um, and that's in the sense for me, I kind of stopped opening doors for people, uh, just because uh, I'm afraid just to get really close to anyone actually, other than family members at this point. So if I do open doors, I just like use my foot and just extend really, really far. But that's about it. And then, of course, masks a big thing now. I personally don't mind it, but I've seen so many social media posts and anti-maskers out there, especially from the far right side of the political spectrum. And I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. There's proof that it maybe doesn't prevent it 100%, but it at least at least it helps, right? So and anything that helps is worth doing, even if it's like a small percent chance, honestly, at this point. Um, so hopefully with that, with a new president, people start to accept it a little bit more and, make it more normalized for everyone here as well, because, if the I guess the biggest person in the United States, the president, is showing examples of wearing masks and everything like that, he's most likely to influence others that who previously didn't think like that, or because the president has a lot of power just by his like
Yeah,
visual representation of himself.
influence.
Yeah, like that's what every big influencer should do. At least, I know there's the argument of that of why should you change your form or change your ways if you're like a big celebrity or anything like that, but they have power. They have a lot of power that you can influence a younger generation to do whatever you want, even if it's on by accident. Uh, and that's the thing I think about for the social construct. I don't know what your opinions are.
Oh man. Well, sorry. I think that throughout COVID, it has changed a lot. Um, the beginning of COVID, I personally didn't think it was going to get as serious as it did. Um,
Right? Yeah.
well, I mean, and this is like super early stages. Like I'm saying, like February or March, because I remember those 2 months. I actually went to a lot of like events, that were in like the DC area that had a lot of people. So I guess I wasn't really aware of what was going on. So at the time, I wasn't taking precautions like wearing the masks and all that. But as soon as they put down that lockdown, that's when I guess like a switch turned in my head. I was like, hey, this is very serious, because they're having to stop like the country because like hospitals and all these different places that help people just don't have enough supplies or don't even have enough room to keep these people in there. So that's when I started realizing that, hey, like, something as easy as putting on a mask is proven to be like very helpful in terms of stopping a large portion of the spread. Like
Yep.
you said, it's not 100%, but I would rather take a 97 on the test than take a fucking like 40%,
Right.
Like just you think about it that way, like that's a very obvious choice. And dude, I think I and what I realized is that I think the people who are like bitching about wearing a mask, dude,
Mm-hmm.
are definitely people that I don't think have ever had to go through like any sort of difficult time in their lives. Um,
Okay.
and dude, I know like in terms of like how we perceive difficult things, that's very different for everyone. But
Right.
I thought about this and I was like, hey, as soon as they told us to put masks, I did it right. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think twice. I put the mask on. One because I realized that hey, shit is serious. Like I have people in my life that I don't want to get sick,
Right.
so I'm gonna take these precautions for them. Because at that point, dude, it was a lot bigger than me, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
no one's gonna give a fuck. Oh, Carlos doesn't want to wear a mask. I know, like I don't really care about that. Like I want my parents and stuff to be safe, that sort of stuff. And then I thought about it. I was like, hey, I mean, maybe the reason I didn't react so bad was because, dude, there's been like worse instances in my life, where it's just been like, been at very low places, whether it was just me or my family, right?
Right.
So I realized I was like, hey, this isn't that bad. I've had to deal with
So
worse and stuff like that.
what what you said was very true. I think it's like inexperience with illness and death.
Mm-hmm.
Um as well as I feel like people make it out to be a political and historical thing
Mm.
about control and power
Hmm.
Right.
when in reality like it has nothing to do with any of that. Like at the end of the day, whether you look at it or not, this is a virus that we're all fighting together.
Hmm.
Right.
Is sometimes like, yeah, does the media want to portray a negative aspect of like how badly it's affecting the people? It is affecting the people really bad, but like, do they make it outrageous claims sometimes? Yeah, it's distrusting of me, that's fine. But like the collective agreement about wearing a mask shouldn't be an argument. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
Like,
I
there's no
agree.
politics behind it.
Yeah,
This is,
dude.
Yeah, and
uh,
that thing though, like most of the arguments I hear for like anti-mask users is that it's not a high percentage of death. And while that may be true compared to like the flu that has been around for uh, decades at this point, or any other type of illnesses that have a higher mortality rate, that's not the issue. The issue is that its spread is way worse than the flu, and the capacity we have for hospitals at the moment, or at least that during March and early May, was horrible. We didn't have room for people who wanted to come in a hospital for, or I'm not we, but I'm not working in the medical field, but like doctors and nurses didn't have the room for them to just join in, get regular checkups or come in if they had like breathing problems because they just didn't have enough either masks or PPE in general or anything in that kind of in the kind of realm. And it's frustrating to hear people, "Oh, don't worry about it, it's, you're not going to die if you get it," which may be true, but at the same time, bro, you're also going to be affecting thousands if not millions of people who get other illnesses and can't go to the doctors because there isn't enough uh, PPE for them to treat you or anything like that. And it's crazy, man. Their argument sometimes it's really invalid, and oh my god, I hate it so bad.
Oh,
But
dude, it's terrible. Yo, and one of the things that also just really like pisses me off is that you know how they say, oh yeah, it's there's not that big of a percentage of people,
right,
dude. The reason it's not that big of a percentage is because not everyone is an asshole who doesn't want to wear a mask, right?
right,
Dude, like I don't know how they don't realize that they go into a store where, dude, like out of everyone in like the in or like you'll see, oh shit, I'm the only person without a mask.
right.
Like does something not click in your head saying like, hey, like maybe I should put on a mask? Or dude, you don't have to go to the fucking store. You can literally like have someone pick your fucking groceries. All you have to do is pull up in your car. How
Mm,
easy is that, dude?
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Like, dude, like I don't do that because I know that like I'm able to, do that stuff. I'm assuming like older people are using that service, like they're getting um they're doing the online pickups, which is good, which is what they should definitely be doing. So that way, they're not exposed. But you got these like people who, one dude, like the fact that you go crazy if you can't go to like a grocery store, like, oh come on man, like you can get groceries in like 10 different ways. There's probably 10 different companies that are fucking delivering groceries, dude.
There is,
Like,
man.
dude,
There's
like Uber Eats just did it.
yeah,
So I'm like, bro,
Uber
come
Eats. There's Instacarts. What was the other? Postmates. They all offer these delivery for groceries or anything you really want. I mean, so there's like no need to leave your house at all for anything at this point in the pandemic. But earlier, I think people were still trying, especially companies were trying to figure out ways to do it.
on.
I worked at like a local grocery store, and we had like a specific hours for the elderly from I think it was like 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. or something, like something really early for them just to shop. If you're, I think, older than 60, 65, or anything that's considered elderly.
Uh-huh.
And it was just for them. But you also see people complaining, why do they get to go first, or et cetera, et cetera. I mean, like,
Oh my
like,
god.
because I think they were afraid that, and I think it's also a thing people think other people are really, uh, I guess, more selfish than them, because they thought, oh, they're gonna go first. They're gonna buy all the water, all the fruits, all the veggies first.
Mm,
Their family probably told them to buy extra of everything so they could give it to them, and it's that mentality of me first in
mm-hmm.
America, at least, that really hinders our progress in eliminating this virus.
Mm-hmm.
Because other countries do it so well, where it's not about yourself. It's about the community whole.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
community effort.
exactly. I think most Asian countries are really, really good at that. That's why majority of the countries that done well with this virus are Asian. Japan, Thailand,
Taiwan, dude, they
Taiwan.
they did a festival there, man.
Exactly. So they're all
A
back to
few
normal,
this week. Yeah.
basically. I know. I think now, things with the flu season coming down, especially in the east or west here, uh, it's being locked down. Like France went back into lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Parts of UK or the whole UK, I'm not really sure which one it was. Um, but they're locking down, and that's the right thing to do. Lock it down. I think Biden talked to the was it the prime minister or the president of where's that country? New Zealand, or I forget. He talked to a lady, president, madam president of a country that's dealt with this virus really, really well, and they're
Mm-hmm.
working together, and that's something that President Trump should have done. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
communicate with other countries, seeing what works for them and what doesn't work for them. Unfortunately, if he did, I didn't hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's also another problem with media, that they'll just push the bad stuff onto you rather than anything good or that he's done. I mean, honestly, I don't know much good that he's done. But I mean, it's possible that I miss him, but
Mm-hmm.
I just don't hear it as much, just because the social media algorithms are wired to push things that they assume would be in your best interest or your favor without giving you the other side, which is very dangerous. But that's what it is, and honestly, I have no idea how we're gonna get back to normal, even if we have like a vaccine of sorts. But
Yeah.
hopefully, it's not. I mean, I don't want to say it's. I don't want to be in lockdown forever, man. It's annoying.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like
It's
it at all. Yeah.
It's like I thought when we first started in March, like early March, it was like 2 weeks, maybe a month at max. We were all
Mm-hmm.
talking and be like, yeah, it's not gonna be too much. And then every time it came closer to those 2 weeks, it extended like a month or two more weeks or
Yeah.
whatever. And then it extended even more and even more. And it seemed like it was extending forever at this point, reaching 8 months, almost 9 months at this point, of lockdowns and COVID restrictions, and our society being completely opposite and
Yeah.
distressed, and protest riots from both sides. And I don't know, man, it's a hell of a time to be alive in the States, at least.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing as well is that, um, dude, at least I remember in August, I thought it was going to end, right? Because I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, everything's going back to normal," um, but then out of nowhere, because I guess everyone had that perception things are going back to normal, and then out of nowhere,
Right.
4th of July, uh, people you start gathering. There's spikes. There were spikes in Florida, and then people thought it was safe, so they started traveling. Dude, it's gonna be. I don't even know if the vaccine is gonna like really like fix this um, as quickly as we hope it's going to do. But I don't know, man. I I definitely have, at least the way I interact in out and about in like society, dude. It's completely different than what it was like before COVID. Dude, I used to like not mind being in crowds, like go to concerts all the time, go dancing, clubbing
That's
and stuff.
fun.
Dude, but now I don't. I can't. I don't even think I can be in a restaurant and have a good time, dude. Like I still haven't like eaten since March. I haven't eaten inside a restaurant, dude.
I haven't. I haven't either. If I want to eat at a restaurant, I do either to goes
Yeah,
or
dude. Or
deliveries or
like,
something.
dude, like I remember this past weekend, dude. Like I was like, damn, like I was really craving like Korean barbecue. And then dude, in my head, I was like, okay, shit, let me just drive past the place. If there's anyone in there, like I will like, not go in. But if it's empty, dude, it's crazy that I'm thinking that way, man. Like, and
Right?
it's fucking December, dude. Like it's December, dude. Like, and that the reason why, man, it's because we just got a bunch of people who don't really care. And like, dude, if you wear, I mean, all you have to do is put on the mask. Like when you go to places like public places, dude, or even try to avoid. Like I don't get people's obsessions with going out, um, and like clubbing like every night, dude. Like I know it's fun and stuff, dude, but like, bro, like things are gonna remain like this really weird thing because one week things are open, the next week things are closed. Like it's crazy, dude. Like wouldn't people rather just hold off for like maybe like 2 months, just
Mhm.
everything, like hopefully our government like actually helps us out because and I do get why people are saying like, hey, no, we need to reopen the country. It's
Yeah.
because dude, like small businesses are suffering because all we've gotten from the government, dude, was that what like was it 1,200 that we got?
Yeah, for I think people who are unemployed because of
Yeah,
COVID, you get 1,200 the stimulus check
yeah, the
and an
stimulus check. Yeah,
extra 500 per child, I think, under
yeah.
the age of 18.
But
Uh,
see, dude, like that's not enough to hold you off for what is it, 8 months now?
right, exactly. That's barely a month of like rent or like food for kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was that unemployment benefit thing that was I mean, dude, that unemployment thing was a
But see, dude,
mess.
it ended, dude. It ended in July. So
It did end July, right? Yeah.
yeah, dude. So people who haven't who don't have a job, right? So people who don't have anything, like I mean, a
Right.
lot of places they're not even hire. Some places aren't even hiring, right? Because there's no, they're not getting as much business as they used to, so they can't. Like, it doesn't make sense for them to hire, right?
So yeah, so that leads me to a question as well, though. What did you think about the unemployment benefits that was going on with the I think it was regular unemployment benefits plus $600
Oh
added
yeah,
to the thing, and dude, I don't know if I'm gonna get hate for it, but honestly, dude, it was a slippery slope, uh, for everyone. Because if you were unemployed, it's great that you're getting like what I heard people are getting like 900, almost $1,000 per week. Um, and it's great. You have enough money to, uh, stay afloat with everything. But uh, and then again, that goes through the whole American
So
American standard thing of me first,
are
and
are you talking about the people that were originally making like $300 a week but are getting 900 instead?
it,
Like six,
I
seven
think
hundred dollars
I
instead?
think that was like the majority of people who got it, if
Okay,
I'm not
so
wrong.
not a it wasn't like you're not wrong, like they did get more than they were
Hmm.
making before. So the one big misconception about that is unemployment benefits. Did you so you guys are familiar with withholding tax, right? If you're
Right.
working under W-2 and 1099, you have to withhold taxes, and they do it for you. So
Mm-hmm.
the problem with that is the people that did make benefits off of it when you go show at the end of the next year, actually, I hope people don't get surprised by it, but you are going to have to pay that money back if you were earning more money than usual. But for example, like my dad's friends, for example, right?
Okay.
They were making $4,000 to $5,000 a month. That $700 was nothing to them. Like that
Right.
$700 is it's chump change in
Mm-hmm.
reality to their world because they have other stuff to pay for, right?
Right.
So those guys won't be affected because they have proof of income from their last tax returns, right? But
Mm-hmm.
say you were working $300, say you were making like $300 a week, right? And on top of that, you're getting $700 every week because of the unemployment benefits. You have to pay that back. They're not gonna keep it. Like you're not gonna be able to keep it. So next year, I hope if anyone's listening that I hope you guys know that you're not keeping that money that you made extra. Like that's one huge misconception about that plan, about the unemployment thing. That's
Yeah.
why that's why they said that the people who need it should be applying for it. So like for a person earning $4 or $5,000 a month, that $700 didn't really do much for them. You know what I mean? Like my dad, my uncles, like it's nothing to them. You know what I mean? Because they were making double that on a monthly basis. But obviously, the people making $300-400 a week, that's amazing. But they have to realize they're not keeping that money. So I just wanted to let you guys know.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
personally didn't know that. I honestly thought
yeah,
they. I mean, that's good. Here we're learning in the
yeah,
podcast here and everything. I mean,
yeah,
don't be afraid to be wrong here, and that's great. I did
mm,
not know that, but
yeah,
at that point, that also created of people not wanting to work once their restaurant or their business
mm,
opened back up, and that was a huge problem for small business owners trying to get their employees to come back to work. Because they needed them to come back to work, or else they would lose that grant money they applied for from the government to
yeah,
put their employees into payroll. And that just created a cycle of people. Hey, why would I want to go to work 40 hours and make less than I do just for staying at home with my family? And I get that mentality as well. Be like, maybe you don't want to go out and risk it because of COVID. And if you have a legitimate reason, stay home. Uh, but it just created a cycle of constant problems, uh, one way or another, in different solutions in different
right,
situations, and it just didn't make sense to me. Because I think I applied for unemployment. I think we all did, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm,
correct. And I got one check, and it was cool. I was like, damn, this is kind of nice. I didn't do shit this week, but I got paid. Uh,
right,
and I mean, at least for me, I was like, that's cool. But then I went for look for a job, and I know, dude, I don't know how to say this, but it's not like a dick. But there's jobs out there, even if you don't see it. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, if you really want to go out there and find a job, I think you'll find one. Um,
right,
and I know people don't like hearing that, or some people be like, it's not. What about this? Because of my kids, and maybe you're right, but if you
right,
can't complain that there's no jobs out there, if when there is, if you're not willing to look for it.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just I think people
Um,
expectations are a little too high, and they're not willing to work at a grocery store or as a cashier or as a janitor somewhere cleaning, or doing the hard labor, and they
right.
prefer like an office job that does like what six figure income with benefits and all that, and they're not, I guess, accustomed to working that kind of jobs that are still
Right.
hiring, especially during grocery store. They were hiring off the ass during these times. Um,
Dude, but dude, the problem with that though, with like people going back to work, dude, you,
mhm,
you got to realize, dude, not a large percentage of the country, dude, they don't have healthcare, right?
right.
And their small business doesn't give them healthcare either. And neither do a lot of these like grocery places, dude. If you're working part time, you're not getting healthcare. So, dude, so say you take that risk and say you do go and work, right?
Hmm.
But you get sick and you have to go to the hot dude. Like I personally, I didn't have health insurance for a lot of it, a lot of my time.
Hmm.
And whenever I would go to the hospital, dude, I would come out with bills that were like $3,000 for like an ER visit, right?
Yeah, they're insane.
So I mean, dude, that's the reason why people don't want to go. Dude, dude, honestly, like personally, if I was working at a place like that and my boss told me to go in, I'd be like, no, I'm not going in. One, because, dude, I don't care about that job enough to get sick over it. Like
Right.
like I don't. It's not worth risking my life, right? And the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
it's like personally for me, I can't because, dude, especially at that time, like I was at home, so I
Mm-hmm.
was if I were to get something, not only would it affect me, but it would affect like my parents. It would affect their income. So, dude, I mean, I guess that's why people did that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because, dude, like, if you happen to catch COVID and some people get symptoms, some people don't. But if you do get the symptoms, then you do have to go to the hospital, man, dude. That's like $3,000 in debt that you're gonna
Right.
be in. Just
Yeah.
and dude, and your job's not gonna cover for you, right? They're
Right.
not
Mhm.
gonna give you money because you got sick, dude. I mean
Yeah.
that's the reason. And dude, being a small business owner too, dude, I wouldn't want to put one of my employees out there with that risk.
Yeah.
Right.
Because dude, like, dude, I wouldn't have like I wouldn't be able to give them like $4,000 because they got sick, right? And then they had to go to like the ER, all that stuff. Like I would want to
Right.
because I would feel responsible for it because I'd be like, hey, I put this person out there. Like I could have easily just not opened up. I could have done things like online or modified the business in a way that it wouldn't require as much like interaction with other people. But dude, for some places you just can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I
So
completely get that.
dude, that's one of the reasons why like I get why people are doing that, because dude, a lot of these jobs, man, like they don't really care about their employees. So if they
Right.
get COVID, dude, and they go to the hospital, okay, boom, they're gonna get another person to replace that person, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I see your perspective, and I also get that too. I think I don't know, honestly, man. I don't know if I was thinking wrong. I mean, I don't think there's a right way to think about it either. Because I during this whole pandemic, I still saw my parents both work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and still paying their bills. I think it's also because I at least personally grew up with no help from anywhere,
Mm-hmm. So we, we
regardless.
we we know how to
Yeah,
do stuff. Yeah.
right, and I don't think my mentality is right either because I also think sometimes I'm a dick with it. But I think I just have a different life perspective from others as well. Because we've been in this country with help, with really, really,
Right.
really minimal help throughout everything of our lives
Mhm.
here. So it was hard for me to just not uh earn the money that I was making for just sitting at home.
Right.
Um, even and I saw my parents still go to work.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mhm.
older. They're in their mid 40s, almost 50, and they were still going to work every day. Being protective, of course, wearing masks, sanitizer,
Yeah, but see, it
everything like
shouldn't
that.
it shouldn't be like that though,
And it
right?
shouldn't be like that. I
Mm-hmm.
completely agree, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I also hate myself sometimes for thinking like that. I think it's just because I grew up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dude,
it's
I
hard to
mean,
change myself sometimes, but I also get the other side of things.
no,
And I love talking to people as well with their perspective, so I can,
yeah, dude, I
kind of check
mean,
myself.
like personally,
Yeah.
dude, every day my parents like go to work, I get worried, you know.
Yeah, me too.
No, but see that's what sucks though, because it's like you look at a lot of these people who, I mean, I guess have like office jobs and stuff, or have opportunities that like our parents didn't have. Like they're working from home, right? Like all they have to really do during the day is just go to the groceries and stuff, right? But
Right.
dude, but see, like we at least like a lot of like people who necessarily didn't have those luxuries before got to taste
Hmm.
that. And I think that's why people are pissed off because, dude, like, I guess people who were making like $300 a week before COVID realized, like, hey, like, it's crazy that before COVID, like, I was like a person, or like, people who work in grocery stores and stuff like that. They were like, hey,
Hmm.
I'm a person that, is considered to be like at the bottom of society, right?
Right.
Like I get looked down upon, but
Hmm.
somehow like me in this position, I'm fucking like maintaining, right? Like I'm an essential worker. Like what the
Hmm.
fuck? Like come on, like these people were like, holy shit, like this is what this much money feels like. And honestly, dude, like grocery stores have probably killed it this year.
Oh, they made a shit ton of revenue,
Dude,
man.
and you telling me that they can't pass that down to like the employees who are working there, dude?
Yeah, and like and they try because I went the company I worked for, which was
Mm-hmm.
a smaller version of Giant or Wegmans or any like those big major grocery stores. What they did was they increased the pay. I mean it doesn't seem like much. It was like I think $2 more from your regular like 11 or $12 base pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think one paycheck they gave you like a bonus of $200 if you're there part time, 400 if you were there full time,
Mm-hmm.
working since March. Um, and and it's great that they were doing that. And it's extra money is always a good thing, but some employees felt like it wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the perspective because most grocery store employees they were only making like what $2 more an hour, while their friends who unfortunately either lost their jobs or cannot work at the moment had like a salary increase of like 200 times more what they originally had,
Mm-hmm.
for staying at home while they had to come back. They had to go to work every day or
So
however many hours for it.
So the problem with that is though people like automatically assume everybody was earning the same amount of money as someone else. Like if you were in a household that was paying a lot of mortgage, you're used to a certain type of lifestyle. You can't knock it. Just because like I understand, yeah, like these like my mom works in a grocery store. She's a manager in a grocery store and she had to work all throughout fucking COVID. You know what I mean? The problem with that is the
Right.
people that had actual job, like not actual, I shouldn't say actual, the people that had like jobs that were earning a lot of money and those that lost it also have to
Mm.
maintain the way of their life. Is it fair for them to lose their home? No, of course not, dude. Like they worked hard to get that house that they will live in, but right now since
Mhm.
they lost their job, they're not
Mm.
able to pay that mortgage. So that $700, yeah, it's a lot for the people, that lost their jobs at like a minimum wage job, but it's nothing for those that actually earn, like, not earn, sorry,
Oh
that
yeah.
actually that like have to pay for their like living
Yeah.
expenses. Because why should they just leave what they made their basic like entire life on and then be like, oh yeah, I just have to move. I just have to go like, leave everything behind because I can't pay my mortgages. Like that's what people don't understand about what this pandemic is doing. It's not just affecting the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is affecting like minimum wage workers, but it's also affecting people's livelihoods beyond that. People's salary jobs, like people's like lifestyles, like it changes. It shifts
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like people buying, like selling their cars, people like, not being able to people going on furlough for their mortgage because they're not able to make mortgage payments because their job is what made them like pay that expensive mortgage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like it's a very double-sided thing and we always forget about that side of reality, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I no, I think that's right, dude.
Yeah.
Like Abib has a point, man. Like people who were, I mean, yeah, dude. Like 700 for some people covers like their car payment. I mean, dude. And the thing is, man, it's like, dude, COVID stopped a lot. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it sucks. Like, I honestly hate that. A lot of places that I enjoyed going to, in terms of like like nightlife, have closed in DC. Just because
Mhm.
there were so many months. Dude, the thing is, it's like,
Mhm.
and I know people say, "Hey, like, oh, it was a fucking nightclub, like it closed." But dude, it's like whoever owned that nightclub, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
probably still have a family that they have to take care of, right? Like,
Right.
not all businesses, dude, like make these huge margins. Like a lot of times, dude, like small businesses, man, like the margins are very thin for the first like 5, 6 years. So something like a pandemic, dude, that's why so many businesses closed, because they just couldn't figure out how to get past that,
Mhm.
and those margins. And the thing is, dude, it's like especially in business sense, dude, like at least I invested things for my summer program in December. So,
Yeah.
I didn't know that this shit was gonna like happen. I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. I thought we were gonna be back for summer. But no, I mean, it just didn't work out. luckily I didn't spend too much. I was about to spend a lot more, but luckily, I saw that things were like a little weird, so I didn't spend too much of the budget I had. So that kind of helped me like stay afloat. But
Right.
dude, a lot of like other businesses, they just can't have that because they just have so much
Hmm.
overhead. Dude, they have contracts with people who rent them equipment. They have contracts with people who, have to get paid regardless of what. Like they have contracts with like people. So, dude, this whole COVID thing sucks because like, dude, we should be pissed at our fucking government, dude.
Yeah.
Like the government, like, dude,
Yeah, we
government
should.
can suck our fucking ass, dude. Like these guys have not done anything after the stupid Donald
So funny,
Trump
man. I swear.
sign check or whatever, dude.
Hmm.
Bro, and like people don't like realize, dude, that like yo, I get, dude, and I thought about it. I guess a lot of people for fucking for Trump were also like people who hated the government. But I'm like, dude, why would you try to put that same dude in fucking the same dude who didn't care about like what was going on? Dude, like sure this guy was saying, "Oh, keep everything open, like keep America is super strong." Bro, like America was not strong for a couple months, dude. Like people were dying left and right. Like
Hmm.
like for the people that it affects, which is like a lot of, like first generation people, dude, we have a lot of our dude, I would say out of every single person in the call, dude, all of our parents have one condition at least,
Yep.
right? If not
Yep.
two or
Yep.
three, like they have at least one fucking condition. So we're the ones that are getting like fucked over even more by
Hmm.
this, by fucking assholes who not wearing masks, by our president downplaying this shit, and then by other fucking 70 million assholes who think that putting the same person in power that made shit go downhill is gonna like somehow rise it up, dude. Like it's society is fucked, man. We are
Yeah.
so fucked. Like this is crazy, dude. It's fucking December. It's about to be December, dude. It's Thanksgiving. My fucking
It's a
girlfriend can't go.
winner.
She can't go home because of how bad shit is, dude. Like we just can't take these risks, right?
Yeah.
Like it sucks.
It's
It's
like,
it's
So
it, it- it's honestly really crazy, man. I mean, and then they take so long to decide on a plan, and then that plan gets cut down into smaller
hmm.
sections, and then they go back to like square one, and then do it all over again, and it take forever, and then they go to recess for like 2 weeks.
yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. On our
I don't know, man.
salaries.
Like yeah, what the fuck? Like you go on recess, really? You debate this for like 2 weeks, you get tired, and you go on like
Yeah.
2 week vacation.
Yeah. And
Uh,
they're on our
and it's
paychecks,
like
bro.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and they're making like good money, really
Hmm.
good money, and that money, that I don't know, man. I don't know if they should be making that much, but it's at least I don't see the effort put by them. Very
hmm
few politicians out there are trying. And if they are trying, they get shut down from their party or from the opposite party because it doesn't benefit that party or the rich people. Because people who are wealthy have actually made more money during this whole pandemic.
hmm
Um, a good example was Mr. Bezos from Amazon, dude. That guy made like what 38
He, be-
couple
he
couple
became
billion,
like
right? A couple million.
he reached 200 billion or something. Thought I don't. It was like a large
Billion
number.
just
Yeah.
this couple of months from Amazon. And that it's and I see people who are saying it's not fair, and how the hell does this one man have so much wealth?
He
But
finessed the
majority
system
of
that
it's in
America
assets
made.
and stocks and all that.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And it's like you have no one else to blame except for your government who allowed this situation
To
to
happen.
happen. Exactly. And then that guy was just smart, he knew that he could get away. Not, I don't know if he like, but um, he just went out and made billions, made Amazon more efficient than majority of companies out there. He was already a step ahead of the game with delivery to home for what 1 day delivery with Amazon Prime. So like there were benefits to shopping with Amazon versus going to the retail stores, and
Oh
he
yeah.
unfortunately crushed the competition. You know, those who were meant to survive, um, those who didn't, unfortunately went under because of Amazon or bigger companies who had the assets and the money to, or have the money to change their whole systems to benefit them. And it's crazy. Pandemic are the ones who were trying to do something for themselves and their families, or have nothing. Uh, and it's crazy, man. I just
Yeah, I mean,
definitely
dude,
a
I
different
think
way to do everything.
I think people like I think Amazon grew as well, dude, is because I mean they were doing things that our government should have been doing, right? Like providing things that we needed like very quick. You know, like they had same day delivery for a lot of groceries, a lot of stuff. Dude, like if you think about it, man, like that, I think those are like basic things that like a government should have in place in case something like this happens, right?
Hmm.
Like, isn't that something, dude? What the fuck is the point of the government if it's not even doing that? Like,
I feel like this has opened up their eyes.
dude,
Like,
but the
yeah.
thing is, man, motherfuckers are the ones controlling, dude. Their eyes
Mhm.
should always be open. Motherfuckers should not be in there. Like, you shouldn't have dinosaurs in there, dude. That's the problem.
Yeah.
God.
So speaking of Amazon, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard. I want you guys to like give me your opinions on their entry into the pharmaceutical market.
No, it's perfect, dude. It's gonna switch things up because, dude, I think you'll be able to get medicine at a cheaper rate and a lot quicker.
Hmm.
Because, dude, like I don't know if you guys know what GoodRx is. Um, it's basically like if you don't have like insurance, they basically give you like an insurance card, I guess, that will make the price of the medication like super cheap.
Okay.
So I guess you can combine that with Amazon because I think Amazon has a feature where if you don't have like medical insurance, like they give you like that discounted price either way.
Okay.
Uh, so dude, I think Amazon's gonna make even more money. And I mean, dude, with the medicine, with the pharmaceutical thing, bro, I think that's a good step for them because I think it's gonna really change things up. So I don't know.
You, Harold?
Mm-hmm.
For sure,
Hello?
man. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So for sure, I think it's a good initiative that they're doing, because I also heard that if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get discounts on generic and off-brand medications, which is also great. An incentive to be a Prime member, and you get money off your regular medicine that you typically get. Um, and stocks of CVS and Walgreens went down like 10 to 12% just when Amazon announced Amazon Pharmacy. I think it's great. Definitely the pharmaceutical companies will think twice. Oh, at least think a little bit more of their marketing strategies, how they can, bring customers in. Which is the beautiful part of a capitalist society. Companies fight each other for better products and better prices, only for the benefit of the consumer. It doesn't always work out like that, but majority of times, I think it does a decent job. Um, but hopefully Amazon doesn't take over too much, because at that point they're monopoly in almost everything they do, which is crazy. Um, so hopefully they don't um, what to call it, they don't or take major companies, or maybe they'll do partnerships. But I think it's generally a good idea, honestly. Um, but man, this man is gonna be so much more richer.
Yeah.
Just in like next week or something, when the when Amazon Pharmacy fully launches, or gets like the ball rolling. It's crazy, man. This one man with a took over the world, um, and it's
Do,
crazy, man.
do you guys think that? Wait, is he able to run for president? No, right? Wait, actually, if Donald Trump was able to run, I think anyone can run for president.
He's fully American, right? Yeah, he's fully American.
Yeah, I think that would be crazy. Imagine that happening, dude. Get a Bezos. campaign, dude, that would be. I mean, I think people would vote for him, dude. But
You
I don't, because
think?
I mean, he hires so many people, dude. Probably his employees will vote for him. I don't know.
I mean, true. I've also heard like
I
really
think
like bad things about Amazon too, but
I think
yeah,
yeah, with the bad things you were saying, running for president is a political game, so he has to wait for like the all the negative impact that's going to come on him, because everyone thought that Michael Bloomberg was like a great candidate, right? But once he became a candidate, a lot of negative press came on, and I don't think Bezos will be able to handle that, considering he's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
they have done a lot of shitty things, like for example,
yeah,
he like people think that he is the reason why the internationally in his warehouses, um internationally, like he's making those workers pee in bottles, right? Obviously he's not directly doing that. He has upper management dealing with those as well. Like there are a lot of people below him that also have that significant power running these places, correct? So
hmm
Mhm.
those guys are the ones that are like, trying to make money, trying to like get up on the, the scale, and they're forcing these workers to like work disgusting hours, horrible conditions, like, having 2-minute bathroom breaks, or like if you're late, you get fired on the spot instantly, right? Oh yeah, $16 an hour is great, but if you're working basically like a, I don't know, like horrible
pack mule.
ass condition, yeah, pack mule, then what's the point of that $16 an hour? So the thing with that is he won't be able to combat that because he has so much negative press on him that I don't think
hmm
as a president he won't be able to handle that situation. You know what
Hey,
I
but
mean?
yo, is he worse than Trump?
He's not. He's definitely not worse than Trump, but like Trump is
Definitely
worse
a
in a
better
sense of,
businessman.
yeah, definitely a better businessman. But Trump is worse in the sense of like he has Trump had a lot of celebrity connections, right? He was in Hollywood. The thing with Bezos is we don't know much about him. So if those like dark things come out, who knows? It could be like worse than Trump. Because think
Mhm.
about it, do we really know these guys? When you're under the spotlight, that's when the real stuff comes out. Correct? Like
Yeah.
how Trump went to that private island, how Trump evaded taxes, how Trump like didn't pay his workers, all that stuff. Like he's in that spotlight, so all of that came out. Before, if you think about it, we didn't really know much about Trump. We didn't know a lot about Trump actually. All we knew is that he was in movies, he was a celebrity, Celebrity Apprentice. He got roasted by Snoop Dogg on like Comedy Central. You know what I mean? Unless you're like doing deep dive research. Not a lot of us knew about Trump. So when he got on that spotlight, that's where this bad guy persona came on. So I feel like if Jeff Bezos is put in that position, that's the same thing. That goes for anyone. Mark Cuban, Bill Gates, anybody trying to run for office. It's a disgusting game, dude. Politics can make or break your career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, he has to watch out for his
Yeah.
company too.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know,
mean, dude,
man.
I think there'll be a point where Amazon's bigger than the government, dude.
Dude, they're
That's
bigger than like most countries out there already.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're already beat our government, bro. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like we bring this up every podcast, but what he did to the United States Postal Service is insane. You
Yeah.
know?
He made his own.
Yeah,
He made his own, man. Who the fuck thought of
yeah,
that?
exactly. He's just
It
like,
was
you're
it
not
was
gonna
cheaper.
deliver. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna deliver for me. All right, bet. And then since they were losing money, they started delivering on Saturdays and Sundays, which was unheard of for a federal employee.
Mm-hmm.
You
hmm
know what I mean?
Right, and then the what 1 day delivery with Amazon Prime
Yeah.
came, and then just
Yep.
like kicked every other shipping company in the ass. They're like, what the fuck? Like
Yep.
the same day delivery changed their like logistics
Dude,
around, and
yeah, the same day delivery was it's crazy. Like I'll order something at 9 a.m., dude. It'll be in my apartment by like 1. Fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
dude.
it's crazy, right? Because that what like 10 years ago that wasn't a thing or even
Yeah.
close to a thing. And then this
Mm.
man comes out of nowhere with his online bookstore and then just changes everything completely, man. Like it's so fascinates me to this day that it literally started as a bookstore online,
Bookstore.
and that he literally now is in pharmacy tech, servers, even in what's it called, film industry now with Amazon
Hmm.
Video.
I mean,
He
dude, it's all brand. I mean,
it's exactly
yeah,
the
he
but
built
like
the brand. You
People
put
yeah
it
trust them.
you
yeah
put
and
Amazon anything, dude, you put Amazon something, I'm gonna trust it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? And it's so crazy, but it's also I've also heard so many bad things about it for as a seller perspective, because if you don't follow Amazon's guidelines or to the T, they'll bury you in their search engines.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah.
yeah, so and it sucks for those small creators that want to get out there, but like unfortunately don't follow the rules or want to freelance a little bit. Amazon will crush you, and then you'll never be ever heard of again, ever. And that's also the scary part when giving a company this much power. Um, but it's like, who else is gonna do what Amazon does? Uh,
Hmm.
I don't think any other company can come close to it. Um, but I mean, at least I don't see them trying. I know Walmart's terrible. They're treating employees like crap too, but it's Walmart, man. You don't, expect quality stuff from Walmart.
Hmm.
At least I don't. But uh, I don't know, man. It's crazy times, and hopefully he's doing good with his charity giving,
Oh yeah,
donations and everything like
definitely.
that. He gave like what $700 million to what's it called, a nature relief or somewhere like that. Uh, and
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. But I don't know. I want to meet him one day and just at least shake his hand or something, man. At this point,
Oh yeah.
see if you can give me like a Rolex
Like
for free.
Iron Man, dude.
He's basically Iron Man. At this point, I'm not surprised in like a couple years we just see a superhero flying in the air, built of like Amazon parts or something. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Um, uh, I don't know what else we can talk about for the rest of the podcast.
Oh.
I kind of stumped at the moment, and we
Oh yeah. No, you're
kind of
good.
went through a lot. But I think last question I want to ask before we sign off for the day. With the recent what's it called, vaccine talks from Pfizer and Moderna, with Moderna having like a 94% efficacy rate and Pfizer having a 90% efficacy rate. Are you gonna get the vaccine as soon as it comes out from either companies?
Oh
I'm
hell
just
no, dude.
curious. No?
Dude,
Why
if
not?
I'm not gonna get it unless I need to, dude.
You think so?
I mean, man, uh, I have gotten this big distrust towards I guess just everything, dude. I don't know. Like I hope that the vaccine works well, dude. I personally I'm like allergic to I think two type of antibiotics. So I mean I personally don't want to take it because I don't know if I'll react bad to it or something. Or I don't know, but I mean I've been taking care of myself, taking care of my family, so I'm hoping that I don't have to take it. But if it's like between life or death, dude, I'm gonna get the vaccine. But if I don't need to take it, man, I won't. I would rather wait and see how people react to it
Hmm.
before I take it. Um, just because I mean, if there's no need to take it, then I wouldn't take it.
You wouldn't take it, okay?
What about you? Would you
I
take
could.
it?
Uh, I think I would. Um, I don't know, man. It's so hard to say yes because I want to say yes because vaccine's good for any reason and whatsoever if it helps you prevent it.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, man, it was a really fast vaccine that they came up with.
It felt rushed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And not to say I don't trust your scientists and saying that they aren't working hard 24/7, but you know, I don't know, man. It's a little too quick. I don't know how I don't know personally how vaccines work to the T. I don't know. I know there's like years of trials, human trials, and to see the symptoms of long-term and short-term effects. But I honestly,
Hasn't it been like a full year? It's almost gonna be a year. But
yeah, almost a year, and
yeah.
I don't know, man. I want the vaccine so we can all get back to normal, but if 2020 taught me anything, the vaccine will just make everyone zombies and it'll be World War Z or something or something like that, man. Honestly, I don't know. I guess I would. I don't. Dude, fuck. I don't know anymore
Dude,
at this
I
point.
would if it was a life and death situation. Like if I'm in the hospital with COVID, dude, I'll take the vaccine.
Would
Um,
Would you let your parents take it?
Dude, if I mean,
Yeah.
if it gets to that point, I don't know. I mean, I guess so, dude. Because I mean, dude, I know for my parents, dude, it's either they miraculously get better, or they're gone from COVID. So if the vaccine gives them a smaller percentage, like a bigger percentage of surviving, I guess, yeah. But wearing a
Oh no,
mask
thank you for having me.
and everything, hopefully,
Hopefully we build that herd immunity pretty fast. And our yeah, so sorry if you guys hear this in the, what's it called, in the full version on YouTube or Spotify or Anchor. Craig, we use Discord to record our conversation, and Craig just decided to leave. We were spitting too much facts for Craig, so he kind of had a dip. But besides that, thank you for everyone for listening to this week's episode. I believe it's episode 5. But leave down in the comments section below on YouTube, seeing if you agree with us or not. And tell us your COVID stories, if anything like that, and how you're staying safe and entertained during these crazy times. But that's all for me. And if Carlos, you want to give a closing statement, or Mr. Beeb, either or would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for listening, guys. Let us know about your crazy COVID hacks, and
Mm-hmm.
just stay ready for next time.
Mm-hmm. But take care, everyone, and we'll see you on. Oh, we'll see you on next episodes of the Peruvian Pod. Take care.
All right, let me do.